Now the next thing I want to do, let's go back to compose. I want my list of other Green Lanterns to be indented, okay? And I want each name to be underlined. So let me go back to the HTML editor, edit HTML, and see here's my Alan Scott, and so here's my list. So it turns out the tag for an indent is UL, which you might think it'd be underline, but no, it's indent. Okay, UL right there. Okay, and at the end, when you want the indentation to end, you do an end UL. Okay, and then I want to underline every character's name, and you do that with a U tag. And when you want to end the underline, a /U, like this. Okay. Another thing, at the bottom of the editor, you have two buttons: Publish Post and Save Now. Publish Post will actually put the post on your blog right now. Let's not do that yet. But the other one, Save Now, saves a draft of your post. And Blogger, because it knows that people forget to save their posts, actually does periodic autosave. But sometimes I've noticed either our internet goes down and I lose my login to Blogger, or say just save. Blogger goes down for whatever reason, and I lose some of my work. So periodically I click on Save Now. So I make sure that I have a draft saved. Any post that you've saved as a draft or that you've already published to your blog, you can always go back and change it or remove it. Okay, and I'll show you that in a little bit. So let's see what this looks like. And when you go back to the composer view, it will actually take all those tags into account that you have added. So now you can see that the text is indented and underlined. Okay. Now the UL tag actually adds another new line. So I think I want to remove that line. So I'm going to go back to the HTML editor, and I'm going to move the Alan Scott entry, so the first one, I'm going to move it back to the UL tag. Okay. Delete that line so it's going to look a little bit better that way. Yeah, that looks good. Alright. So I'm just about done. My post is just about finished. Labels. You don't have to use labels for your posts, but here, let me show you I'm going to show you this other blog that I have. This is for the computer class that I'm teaching. By the way, these are all YouTube videos that you can actually add to your blog. For some reason, they're not loading right now. Must have a slow connection. Anyway, see here at the end of my post, it says labels, and these are tags that you can add to your post, so that kind of like an index at the end of a book. You know, like you can see, like if you're reading a programming book and you want to know all the places where the book talks about printf or something, or talking to a serial port, you can look at the index and see all the places in the book where it mentions a serial port. Well, this is a similar thing. If I actually click on one of these tags that have, so these tags, I specifically chose them, I typed them to have that, you know, that this is what my post is talking about. It's talking about C#, computer programming, flowcharts, and mastermind. So if I click on flowcharts, for example, Blogger will actually show me a list, will actually show all the posts I have that mention flowcharts. So which is the current post that we're already looking at. Here's another post that I had where I talk about flowcharts. Here's another one where I describe flowcharts in more detail. Here, the YouTube videos are finally coming up. That's nice. Okay? So, if you plan on making a lot of posts eventually, it's nice to have some tags there, so you can, so you and your readers can easily find other posts that talk about the same topics. Okay. So, because this is a new blog, there aren't any lists of tags that I can choose from yet. So I'm just gonna add a few. Superheroes, Green Lantern, Superman. Right, let's do that. Okay. And another option you have here is called post options. And here's an option whether you want to allow or not allow reader comments, which I always do. It's always fun. One of the fun things about blogging is reading the comments that people leave you when they visit your blog. Of course, they don't have to leave comments, but bloggers always like to leave comments on other people's blogs, and then you go and visit their blog and you leave comments on their blog and so on. It kind of keeps everything fresh and keeps everything going. And then the other option you have is when you want this post to be created on your blog. Now, it'll always save a draft, but it won't actually put it up on your blog until the given date and time. The default date and time that you see here is actually when you first started this blog entry. And I usually like to change it to where I actually finish the blog entry, because sometimes it might take me several days until I actually finish a post. So now it's 9:50, so I'm going to make it 9:50. And I'm going to click on Publish Post. Alright, and I can click here on View Blog, and there it is. Here's our post. See, it did not take that much work. Most work that it took was just me typing all this stuff, which I skipped in the video. Okay. If you're logged in, there will be a pencil icon at the bottom of your post, and also these little screwdriver and wrench icons. Those are only available to you when you're logged into your account. And when you click on that, you can actually edit the contents of that post or the widget that that icon is for. Okay, so I'm going to click on the edit button. Okay, and one thing that's new now that I have my first post and I've got some labels here is this show all link. And this will show me all of the labels that I currently have on my blog. Of course, I've only got one entry. I've only got 3 labels in that one entry. So those are the only 3 labels it's going to show. But if I didn't have any labels in this entry, I can then actually pick and choose from labels that I've used before and add them to my list of labels for this post. So that helps you, because like if you know that you wrote about superheroes before and you don't want to retype the word superheroes, or you're afraid you might mistype it, then you show all the labels you've used before and go, oh, they're superheroes, and you can just add it. Okay. When you're done with your changes, click on Publish Post again so that it'll update your blog.